Welcome again. I forgot to record this. So our agenda for today is to talk about defining our goals and goals that align with our values. This is a long standing passion of mine to align with the values, everything that we do to our passions and values. And I will, in a second, I will clarify what I mean by that. But talking about goals and aligning them to our values is one thing, but how to achieve them and what is a practical roadmap to achieve our goals. And you may think about this the way, like, why talk about goals at all in the almost in the middle of February, when everybody was talking about setting goals back in December, and we were so hyped about it still in January, and come February, the enthusiasm wanes a little bit, and many of us, me included, start feeling guilty about our goals that we set up that we have maybe not achieved yet. So yesterday I was at a meeting where a lady asked a question, how shall I go on track with my goals if I haven't achieved what I wanted in January? So that's exactly why I want to talk about goals today, almost in the middle of February, because there is still time for us to achieve what we want to achieve, provided we have this practical roadmap for our goals. Overcoming common challenges, that's really important. And then I would like us to discuss among this audience and share experience how we keep ourselves on track with our career goals, career and life goals, because those two, of course, go together. Yes, next steps. Next steps will be just let's go and achieve all our goals, right? Okay, so for those of you who are here for the first time, I just want to introduce myself very briefly, because you don't know me and you have no idea why. I think I have something to say about career management and setting goals and everything else. So I've been more than I would like to admit in the corporate world, more than 25 years in global financial services, managing big projects, big initiatives globally. And I absolutely loved what I was doing. The key thing that I really loved about the job was mentoring, leading, and empowering others. And this passion led me to setting up my own company, where I am still very passionate about empowering women in corporate, especially, to take the next step in their career, to get unstuck and to go to wherever they want to go. And that's what I do now, based on my experience and my whole life in the corporate world. Now, so if we have all the pleasantries done with, we can go to the real thing about our.
Sorry? I'm done. Yeah.
So can everybody just mute themselves, please? That would be great. That would help. Thank you. So I really would like to start with a question, and it goes back to what I said at the beginning about this being almost in the middle of February. So each of us, I'm sure, at this point in time has at least one goal that we at least were excited about in January or in December, and I hope we are still excited about now in February. Please think about it and share, either in the chat window or directly if you unmute yourself. What is one goal that you're excited about for 2025? And if you think about it now, I will share mine. Mine is working as a coach and someone who empowers others, and especially women in the corporate world. My goal for 2025 is to scale my business so I can impact more people, go from one-on-one coaching to group coaching and sharing my expertise and knowledge with more people. That's my goal for 2025. And guess what? I'm still excited about it. Have I done much about it in January? Maybe not much, but small little steps. Yes. How about you? Does anybody want to share what their goal is? Or is there anyone who still maybe is on the fence of what this big goal for 2025 should be? No volunteers. Okay, so I will pick a volunteer. Alex, do you want to share anything about? And Alex is a friend, a long-standing friend. What is about your goals?
Nerea has also shared it in the chat.
She
Thank
did,
Isabella,
yes,
yeah.
and 3 main goals, and that's amazing. So we'll go to Alex now, and then we'll go to Nerea. Very brave, Nerea. Thank you so much for sharing.
Okay, thank you very much, Isabella. So for me, one goal I'm very much excited about in 2025 is to increase my finances by 50%. Right. So I had a lot of blockers because I couldn't settle some things financially. So this year I'm excited about increasing my finances, getting more skills, being open to freelancing and all of that. So yeah.
Brilliant, brilliant. A very, very impressive, very impressive goals, and a really big one, I would say. And thank you for sharing with us. I would love to ask you more questions about how would you know and what is the 50% and how achievable it is and so on. But that's a different story and for a different discussion. But thank you so much for sharing. Naria, you shared 3 key goals. Do you want to unmute yourself and
Yeah.
tell us more about it? Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, well, because I've been unemployed since August, now I'm getting, very nervous because I don't get many chances of interviews and possibilities. So my main goal right now is to find a job, something that suits me. And then I'm learning about AI like everybody else, I guess. And so I want to deepen on that knowledge and to be able to apply it somewhere, in some business, I guess. And the other one is a personal one about my teenage boy who is in trouble right now and being able to, to help him out. But that's a private thing. But it's also a goal and very time consuming.
Yeah, I hear you. And it's very important as well because it's very difficult or if not impossible to separate your professional life from your real life and those two go together. And it's I would say it's almost impossible to reach your professional goal if there is something in your life that you cannot perhaps align with the professional life. So it's very important to have those two and have those two aligned. Absolutely. Very, very interesting. Thank you so much for sharing, and thank you so much for trusting us with sharing your goals, Maria. I would like to call on Kinga, who is a long-standing friend of mine and a role model in the corporate world. And Kinga, I'm so interested in your goal for 2025. Would you like to share with us your next audacious goal? Because I know your goals are always big, big goals. And I'm really interested in 2025. I know you have many goals, but is there anything, just one, that you would like to share with us? Or maybe you don't want to share with us, but yeah.
She mentions that she cannot speak because it's very loud around her.
Because it's very loud. So maybe, okay, that's fine. So maybe what she can do is she can put it in the chat. And no worries at all. I would love to hear from Kinga. I would love to hear from all of you. Maybe we will come back to it later. Please don't be shy. I can't see the chat window that much anymore, so I don't know if there are any more comments. If not, ladies, I will not be putting you on the spot anymore. I will go ahead with my presentation, but we will be coming back to sharing and to the very reason why I'm asking you about this this right now. Let me go into a couple of examples that usually that should resonate with you, especially when we talk about career and career management. So some typical goals that people would have and the way they would define those goals would be, I want to secure a remote job, say within 6 months, by applying to at least 5 relevant positions weekly and enhancing my remote work skills. When you look at this goal, it's very well written because it's a SMART goal. It's very concrete, secure a remote job. When? Within 6 months. How? By applying to at least 5 relevant positions weekly and enhancing my remote work skills, right? Nothing wrong with this goal, but let's look at it later and see what else we can do with this goal so it is more relevant and less transactional, if you like, for us. Another one says, I want to mentor 3 young professionals this year by scheduling monthly check-ins with them and providing career guidance. A really, really nice goal. Nice and very respectful, right? Someone wants to be a mentor and wants to help others. And the third one is, I want to improve my public speaking by attending a workshop, practicing with a mentor monthly, and delivering 3 presentations in 6 months. Again, a really good goal, very tangible, very well defined. We know what, we know how, and we know when. But what if we rewrite those goals so they are less transactional and more aligned with our values, more aligned with what matters most for us? So I encourage all of us, me included, and you, to look at your goals and try and redefine them so they will be speaking to your values, to what matters most for you, to who you are and what you want to achieve, who you want to be. Because this is the only way for us to care about the goal, not only in January, not only in December, not only in the middle of February, but for the entire year and beyond. And let me show you what I mean by that. So if you remember the first goal, which was quite a good goal, securing a remote job within 6 months and so on, very concrete and tangible. What if we redefined it to say, yes, I want it all because I want to spend more quality time with my family. That's the reason I want to do this. Applying to at least 5 relevant positions weekly for a remote job, enhancing my remote work skills. You see, there is a lot of work related to this goal. But why are we doing this? We are doing this because there is something bigger, something even more important here. We want to secure a remote job because we want to spend more quality time with our family. And that's a value. When we understand the value, it's easier for us to sit down every day and to, apply to those 5 positions and spend time enhancing our whatever skills. As I say, it's not that transactional anymore. It speaks to our values, and it reminds us all the time, what is the end game? What do we really care about? Do we really care about the remote job? Maybe not that much. What we care about is we want to have this work-life balance, to spend more time with our family. And one of the solutions to it is to secure a remote job. Now, remember this mentor person who wanted to mentor 3 young professionals this year by scheduling monthly check-ins, providing career guidance? Very, very tangible and really, really good. But perhaps the reason why they want to do it is because they want to give back, empower others, and foster a culture of learning. This is one of my whys. One of my whys is to empower as many people as possible, to help as many women as possible, to give them shortcuts, and to empower them to believe in themselves and go even higher and higher if they want to. So that's my why. And if you remember your why, if you think about your values, underlying values, then sticking to your goal and going through the mundane tasks every day is so much easier. And the third one is this person who wanted to, and apologies to going back and forth, but someone wanted to improve their public speaking by attending a workshop, practicing with mentor monthly, delivering 3 presentations in 6 months. That's a lot. The reason why they want to do it is because they want to build their confidence, communicate effectively, and create more career opportunities. again, if you rephrase the previous goal, then you know your why. You know it deeply aligns with what you care about, and that's exactly why you are doing this. So I do encourage you to look at your own goals the way that they align with your values. I remember Naria talking about her 3 goals, and 2 of them were professional goals and 1 was personal goal. And I bet if we look again at Naria's goals, her goals very, very much talk deeply to her personal values. There's her family in that. There is her wanting not to be unemployed. And then again, if Naria digs deeper, there is a reason why she doesn't want to be unemployed, right? And then it's easier to write the goals in the way that it's a SMART goal, so we know what we are doing, how we are doing it, and what we want to achieve, and when we want to achieve it. So what I encourage you is to think about your goals again, your big goals, and rewrite them so that they are value-driven goals. Do remember they still have to be SMART goals, but start with the why. Why am I doing it? Who do I want to be? And then how I want to do it. Now, ladies, I'm talking, and maybe if there are some questions or anybody has a comment to make or someone disagrees, let me know, because it's easy to be on this side of the screen and just talking about my own view of the world. But if there is anything you want to add, please do. Another thing is, okay, so we will have a goal, we will align it to our value, and then we will have it defined in a smart way. So what's next? Yeah, before we talk about what's next, I want to show you just one more example, because it really is very well connected to the 2 examples that we were talking about this remote job. So for example, if you have this lady who wants to secure a remote job, the reason why she wants to secure this job is because she wants to start a family. So she wants to have a job that allows her to maintain a fulfilling career and spending more quality time with her family. You see how this goes together? And nearly every goal, if not all of them, can be rewritten, redefined that way. Okay. So how to build a practical roadmap to achieve your goals? Because again, we can have every goal on the planet, but if we don't know how to go about it and how to implement, we won't. So let's look at this step-by-step strategies to break down big goals into actionable tasks, because this is what it starts with. When you look at those big goals, let's secure a remote job in 2025, it can be very daunting. How do I go and secure a remote job? What shall I do? And if you have such a daunting goal, a big one, it's easy to get overwhelmed and then disheartened and disinterested at the end. Yeah, and some tips about maintaining momentum and tracking progress, because this is what will help. So have a look at those actionable step-by-step strategies. These are the strategies that help me on a daily basis to achieve my goals. I will show them to you based on this Rebecca's example, the lady who wants to secure her remote job because she wants to start her family. Okay, so let's start with this. We need to break this big one down into smaller tasks. And I'm sure Naria, when she says she doesn't want to be unemployed anymore, or Alex, who says she wants to double her income in 2025, wanting is one thing, and then doing it is another thing. So in this case, for Rebecca, is to start with the basics. Update your resume. How do you update your resume? You know, but how do you update it so it's relevant to this goal? You need to show them that you are able to do a remote job, that you have done it before, that you are disciplined enough, and so on. So you update your resume to suit this to reflect this goal, because you have to think about your future self and to show them that you already operate at this level that you are applying for. Of course, optimize your LinkedIn for it. Then research companies, apply for specific roles, and set deadlines for each task to maintain focus. And if you think about it and break it down that way, then it starts to be easier. All of a sudden, it's not, I need to secure my job. It's, I need to update my resume today. I need to upload on LinkedIn tomorrow. I need to review my LinkedIn profile, and then let's research those companies, so many companies every day, and so on. And then you check your progress. And I know it sounds easy, but it's not. It's not. It does require a lot of discipline. But if you, again, if you think back to why are you doing it, why it is important, what is at the end of it, what are you gaining by achieving this goal, this is why it all of a sudden makes sense. Because not achieving this goal means not reaching the life that you want to have based on your values. Prioritizing and planning. The most impactful actions, I like in my industry, in coaching, and same in the corporate job, the go-to saying was always, do the first thing that you do every day is the one closest to cash. So everything that brings you closer to earning money is the goal that you need to is the task that you need to start with. And yeah, I know it sounds cynical, but it's all about start with something that really matters. And if there are tasks that you can say, I don't know, automate or delegate the tasks that you don't have to do because you are wasting your precious time and someone else can do for you, that's what you're doing. Because you need to focus on things that only you can do. Otherwise, you just are overwhelmed with everything that's going on. So you need to prioritize, you need to identify the most impactful actions, the closest to cash ones, and start with them all the time. So for Rebecca here, it's to refining her profile and applying for jobs that match her skill set, create a weekly schedule with targeted actions, like sending applications and following up on leads. That's the most important thing. Now we'll come back to this most impactful action thing again for a second. Yes, stay accountable. There are so many ways to stay accountable. It's probably really, the most difficult thing, to be accountable to yourself. You can use tools like Trello, Google Keep. I will have a couple of tools listed for you later on. Setting reminders for application deadlines and so on. But one of the most effective ways is to find an accountability partner, someone who has a similar goal, or someone who is reaching for something else, but someone who knows you, who understands you, and who you can hop on the call with once a week, for example, and share your progress. Someone who will keep you accountable and you will do the same for them. Because it's not that easy to promise someone to do something and then not to deliver. Celebrating small wins, it's so important. Like today, I got a really fantastic news about a friend who whose husband got promoted, and I worked with this gentleman as a coach, and I was absolutely thrilled for him to be promoted. And when I congratulated him, he said, "But you know, it's only a job." So yeah, and he was like going small on it. No, it's not only a job. It's very, very important. It's about you being, this is what you always wanted. This is about you being noticed. It's about you being seen and being rewarded. So yes, let's not play it down, because that's what we have in our culture very often, playing things down. And not noticing our small and big wins. Do celebrate it. Every completed task you need to celebrate and say like, good girl. Okay, and the last one is you will have to adapt and adjust, reflect on what's working and what's not working. Do remember, you are not setting anything in stone. You need to refine repurpose, redirect, course correct. And that's fine. Because if you think about something as set in stone, then that's daunting again. That's like, oh yeah, it's really, really big. I don't know how to go about it. Think about it like, yeah, I will do this, and tomorrow I will see if it works. If it doesn't, I will course correct. A couple of tools and resources to assist, and I'm sure you know them all, if not more than that. There is Trello, which I personally really, really like because it's a very nice visual tool, almost like a project management tool, but very nicely laid out. There's, of course, a simple thing like Google Calendar when you can block time and set tasks. And there is OneNote, there is Todoist, which is a goal-setting tool as well, and there is Slack, which is a more advanced, I would say, application which allows teamwork as well. But do Google some of them, check one, and choose whatever works for you. And maybe if like a notebook and a pen and paper works for you, fine. It works for me as well. I love nice pens and nice notebooks. Yes, ladies, you're still with me? Are you here?
Yes,
Yes.
Oh, and you're not sleeping or anything, right?
not at all.
Not at all, good. And if you start to be, you know, if it starts to be boring, just shout. I will be finishing soon, but do ask questions, and there will be time to ask questions at the end as well. So I know that it all sounds like, yeah, it's all very easy. Let's set up our values, understand what our values are, then set up our goals, align them with the values, then prioritize, then I don't know, choose a tool, then deliver, and then celebrate. And we are done. There will be challenges all the time, and you've noticed because you've set up goals in December and January, and you know come February how difficult it is. But everybody will have challenges always, and it's fine. There is nothing wrong about it, and you are not alone. There will be fears, there will be procrastination and setbacks. Procrastination is my best friend. I know it really, really well. And I'm just, you know, fighting it every single day. And again, here, accountability partner, a mentor, or whoever, a coach, a mentor, accountability partner, your friend could be someone who can accelerate your journey and especially help with procrastination and setbacks. Because we tend to be in our own tunnel vision and in our own, you know, bubble. And in this bubble, everything seems like, wow, that's scary. Then I haven't done it again. That's bad. I can't do it. Or I haven't done it. Maybe I will do it tomorrow, but tomorrow is another reason why not to do it. Whereas an accountability partner can help you with keeping you on track. And I will show you two examples, which are my own examples, how an accountability partner can help you. Now, again, everything that I said so far still stands. Do have it all. But then on top of that, if you have an accountability partner, it's so much easier because you will also see that you are not alone, that others are making the same kind of, you know, mistakes, and they are the same human being as you. So this is one of my, I want to share this example with you because this is one of my clients. Now, it's not her because I'm obliged to, to respect the privacy of my clients. My client is also a beautiful, beautiful girl, but it's not her, it's just a stock image. But the reason why I want to share this journey with you is because this is a beautiful example how accountability partner can help. And this lady was already a successful senior manager, and she wanted an executive leadership role. But she was struggling with her self-doubt. And the way she was struggling was, although she really wanted this executive role, she was applying, but she was still applying for senior management roles because she was so unsure and so so self-doubting The flip side of the whole thing was that she was not getting any role. She was not even being considered because she was seen as too senior. So she thought she was in the trap where she thought she was already very senior. She's earning too much money, perhaps, because whatever she applies for, everybody's saying to her that she's too expensive and that she's too senior. But the thing was that she was not aiming high enough. She wanted to, but she was doubtful. So she faced the difficulty with recognizing her own strengths, overcoming this imposter syndrome, which each of us has, and planning her strategic advancement. So what we did with Joanne is what I helped her do, and this is what every accountability partner, a mentor who can be, this can be a mentor in your own company, helps you step back and shows you yourself from a perspective, shows you how to recognize what you have achieved and to name it properly and to believe in it. Yes, that's what you have achieved. This is what positions you here. This is why you can have it. And oftentimes we can't see it. We also can't see it because in our current job, oftentimes people are playing us small. Not everybody has a sponsor, a mentor, an aligned manager who will, push them towards advancement. So it's easy to doubt. So what we did together, I helped her to step back, to do one of the very good tools which I'm using is to go back to the very beginnings of your career and write down everything you have done from the very start to date, all your role and every achievement. And this could be like a 15 pages of a CV, if you like, but it's a very powerful tool. It helped me years and years ago to see what I have done through my journey, what I have achieved, how much I have delivered. Some of them I have already forgotten, but that's a powerful tool to look back and see, yeah, that's me. That's what I have done. This is why I feel that I should be at the higher level. So that's what we did together, and we focused on her self-discovery through this long CV and other tools, strategic planning, and her executive presence, because that's important. Oftentimes we will face this, or you don't have this executive presence, you don't have this gravitas, you are not a strategic thinker. You have to look at it and show them that you are. And then she is my star client because within 2.5 months, she secured an executive role. She became a mentor herself, and she's now very, very happy. Now, those quick wins doesn't happen always and all the time, but it does happen if you think about if you structure your goals properly, if you know your self-worth, if you secure an accountability partner on the journey. This can happen, and it's very, very doable. Another one that I want to show you is Alina. She's a really young girl, very ambitious. I wish I was that ambitious when I was her age. She's a student. She has her half-time job. She has a lot of freelance roles. But she was not sure about her career clarity and direction. She was really lost within everything she wanted to do. And also feeling that like she doesn't deliver because she was like pulled in so many directions and looking for every shining object. She had time constraints, she didn't have a direction, and she was self-doubting whether she can enter her target industry, which was her dream. So again, together we did a comprehensive audit of her career, what she has done so far, how many things she has on the plate now. We decided to discontinue some of them. We decided for her to apply for a pay rise immediately in her half-time job, which she got on the spot when she asked for it, but she never asked before. And then a long-term roadmap. She did enter her dream industry, albeit in the entry-level role, but she's still very, very young. And she already got a lot of recognition and growth. Now she has a focused career path. She no longer goes and gets pulled in many, many directions. I said to her lately that in a couple of years, I will be a receptionist in her big company, because she's going at such a speed at such a young age and being very ambitious. I'm sure she will she will achieve a lot. But this is how much you can achieve, again, knowing what you want. But even if you are lost in the process, if you have an accountability partner, and again, it can be a coach, it can be a mentor, it can be a trusted friend, but it has to be someone you trust, someone that can guide you through this, and someone that can clear your doubts and help you see yourself from a perspective. Now, ladies, I promised it will be 30 minutes. It's now 40 minutes, and I've almost wasted the entire time you had for lunch. So before we finish, and we will finish shortly, I really would like to ask your views on the topic, on what I have covered, any aha moments, hopefully, or anything that you maybe don't agree, or any views that you will have from your career, because all of you are accomplished ladies already.
Isabella. Oh, sorry.
Hello.
Can I ask the question? I found it very useful what you said. What I'm struggling to understand, for example, I would be kind of in the middle, not exactly at the beginning of the way, like the second case, and not exactly in a senior person, as in the first case. And then I struggle to identify appropriate mentor, or because, for example, for career change, line manager is not particularly helpful because they have conflict of interest with helping me grow in a different direction. My colleagues, which are at the same level, I find a bit also unsuitable in a way that they can help me as a person, but I don't have industry knowledge. They haven't been through this path, so they don't have this strategic thinking, which is maybe essential from the mentor. So where do you then go to look for such people, in a way?
Yeah. And it's an excellent question, Marta. I was thinking about it throughout the presentation, and thank you for asking, because you're absolutely right. Your line manager is never a good mentor for so many reasons. Like, they have a conflict of interest. They will never, I don't say they will never let you grow. They will if they are wise, and then they should grow you and let you go. But many of them will not, especially if you are too good for them to let you go. So line manager is not good enough. Also because you don't want to share with them your plans, which oftentimes have nothing to do with your current company. So for that reason, a line manager is not a good example. But there can be someone from the same company, but not from your line of business, elsewhere, a senior person who you admire, who you like, and someone who you want to work with. This would be very, very beneficial, because although the same principle applies, you don't want to tell this person, you know what, in 2 years' time, I don't want to be in this company at all. So not everything you can share with someone from the same company, but securing someone who is senior but outside of your line is useful, because this person can still share their wisdom with you, and they can become your sponsor at the end. And you don't need to share everything with them, but you can still learn from them. So this is what I would advise you to do. Look throughout the organization, see whose style you admire and like, and just go for it, go to them. Most people are flattered when you go to them and ask them, can you be my mentor? Because they think like, oh, I must be really, really good. Like, everyone has doubts about themselves, even very senior people. And when you say to them, well, I really admire what you do, I would like you to be my mentor. Be careful though, because I did it once years ago, and the lady who I really admired, and I still do, said, absolutely, no problem, Isabella. What do you want me to help you with? What is your problem? And I was like, I don't know. I don't have any problem. I just want to learn from you. And she was, no, to come back when you know what you want. And this was something that useful that I learned, that those senior people, they don't want you to give them more problems. They want you to come in, know what you want, ask them questions, and make their life easier rather than more difficult. But by no means do it. Now, talking about your peers, absolutely. Your peers can be your accountability partners if they have a similar goal. So you can speak on a weekly basis. You can share your goals, they can share their goals, and you can like check on each other. But you're right, they don't have the seniority that you're looking for. So while they can be good accountability partners, they will not be useful for the seniority that you're looking for. So you can have an accountability partner, use your views. Ask your colleagues to be your accountability partners. Ask someone in your company, senior, who you admire, but not from your line of business, to be your mentor. And the third one is a coach or a mentor outside of your organization completely, and even, you know, completely outside of the like, it can be outside of the industry, although within the industry it may be helpful. And then again, coach would be very, very useful. It is a paid service, so you need to be ready to invest in yourself. Investing in yourself, it pays off, but you have to be ready for it, and you have to prioritize yourself and your growth, and be able to pay for coaches' services. And there are, if you cannot afford it, by no means you can afford a coach. There are a lot of initiatives where there are organizations that provide free mentoring and coaching for a limited period of time. So I would advise to secure those three: a mentor who can become your sponsor in the company and help you grow, your accountability partner at your peer level, and a coach who is not from your company at all, who has done it, has been there, and someone who you admire, someone whose style you like. So be careful, look around, choose. If you cannot afford it, then go and look in pro bono solutions, or for pro bono solutions.
Thank you very much, Isabella.
Sure. Anybody else? Or is everybody so shy that it's just doesn't help?
Maybe a comment from my side. I was hearing everything that you were saying about setting the goals in a way that they are connected to the values, and also translated into some actionable items. So my thought on that was that actually there are only two options regarding those goals. Either they are really connected with our values, but we might not always be aware of that, and it's enough to just keep reminding ourselves why do we want to do this, why this is important for us. And it may also happen that it isn't important, and those are those goals that remain unfulfilled in February or March or later on. And the other thing regarding those actionable items is the concept of habits. Was something that was useful for me, so that if some action becomes kind of a routine, like for instance, I don't know, 30 minutes of German language every evening or whatever, then it becomes nature, and you don't need to involve an additional tool to track it, because it's part of something that you are doing every day or every week or whatever. So
Eva, thank you so much for sharing. And thank you so much, because I forgot to mention about habits, and something that I would like to recommend to all of you. Spot on, both comments. The first one I really, really like as well, because you are right. Maybe the goals that we are setting for ourselves sometime in December or February, and we don't deliver on them, maybe they are the ones that we really don't care that much deep inside. They are not aligned with our values. Maybe they are not really our goals. It may be someone else's goals, because all of us have pressures from all over the place for us to deliver on something, and from our, I don't know, family, friends, and whoever, you know, something that we really don't want to do. And then we don't do it because it doesn't align deep inside. That's a really, really very useful observation. What I would suggest here is, knowing that, perhaps we should think about it deep inside before we even set up those goals, because it may be a waste of time. It may be fooling ourselves, and it may also be taking so much of our energy, because at the end of the day, we will acknowledge that we haven't delivered. So it may be disappointing, but spot on. Thank you for that. Very, very, very clever way of looking at it. And the habits. Habits is like another topic. I wanted to introduce this in this presentation and this topic, but decided not to because it's another big one. But absolutely, habits are very, very important. They are the cornerstone of the whole thing, because setting a goal and then even tracking it, that's all very important. But if you set up specific habits for your goals, habits, which is this unconscious behavior, it is unconscious, so how to set it up? This is the autopilot that we run on every day. Then it's so much easier. I read lately, I have actually I only finished it last night. Once again I read the book by John Clear, Atomic Habits. Spot on, and a really good book. I read it before, a couple of years ago. I don't think I then was ready for this book because I didn't understand it the way I understood it now. He talks about those small habits and how we can establish them so that we are going on autopilot, but in a way that we want to, rather than the way that we don't want to. If you have time, I encourage everyone to read it because it's a fantastic foundation for any goals, starting with habits. And this is Atomic Habits by James or John Clear. Can't remember now, but the title is definitely Atomic Habits. Thank you, Eva. Thank you for contributing.
No, kein Thema. This is James, the guy that you mentioned.
James Clear. Okay, James Clear. Thank you for clarifying. A really good book. Anybody else, ladies?
Isabella, so I wanted to, I have to say, you know, I've been in the corporate world for very long years and as well, and the value-driven objectives, I mean, fun enough, was not mentioned, and I think it can turn really an objective into something that really it is achieved. And to Eva's point, I think that it could almost be a test, right? If it fits with your whys, then potentially the more you will take it forward. So thanks for that. And the other thing I wanted to say when I was listening to Marta, I think, is that, I mean, myself in the past, I didn't thought it was necessary to invest on coaching or on mentoring, but I think it can be like an eye opener, and it can be, as you were saying in your examples, kind of the enabler for things to happen earlier. I mean, I was surprised by the second example, the young lady, because ambition is something that, I'm speaking about myself, but what I have seen is that it's not necessarily something evident in women, but it can really help and go along quite a lot in our own careers to have the ambition. Because, I mean, I do remember, I mean, you go to your annual review and you discuss about careers. And if you're not clear on what you want, then the boss in front of you will never know how to help you. So I think, so thanks for your conversation today. It's the first time. Really useful.
Flo, thank you so much. Thank you, and thank you for your wisdom. Absolutely, and I especially value it because, as you said, you spent so many years in the corporate world like me, so you know exactly what it is. A very interesting thing you said at the very end, when you say if you don't know what you want, your boss won't either, and that this is spot on, because that's exactly why I'm so passionate about this concept of career by design. Because if you don't design your own career, someone else will, or it will be on autopilot, and a couple of years later or down the road towards your career, you will wake up and think, this is not what I wanted. And as Flo said, your manager will not help you because he or she has a different objective, their own career, as much as they love you. They will think about themselves mostly. And thank you, Flo, for underlying the coaching thing, because I myself also, I'm also working with coaches. I have 2 coaches now. I've been working with coaches for, I think, like 7 years now. And I've also changed coaches because since I started, there were phases in my life when I was interested in other things, and I still am friendly with all of them, but it was depending on what I really wanted, how I was choosing my coaches. And now I work with 2 of them, and one of them is on my own, developing my own business, and the other one is my personal coach. And I must say that this has completely changed my life. And I know everybody's saying this about everything, but for me, it's just accelerated the whole thing and helped me to see blind spots, which I didn't see, especially like sometimes you think that you know it all, but that's not necessarily true. Thank you, Flo. It's been a pleasure having you on this, and I hope you will be joining us for more as well. And Maria has another question. She has a question saying, right now, being unemployed, who could be a mentor and accountability partner where you're out of the company? It's tough. Yeah, it is tough, Maria, but perhaps you can think about someone from your former companies, previous companies. Someone you admired there, you know, on accountability. It could be your colleagues or it could be your friends. And again, it can be a coach, someone who you don't know, like it's not your friend or has not been your line or you haven't worked with, but you search, you find, you assess whether you would like to work with this person and if you are ready to invest, or maybe looking for pro bono organizations that provide coaches. So but do consider also someone who you admired in your previous organization, who knows you and who used to maybe work with you, or someone who didn't know you, but you knew them because they were, I don't know, a managing director or executive director, and you liked their style. And you can still reach out to them via LinkedIn and say, yeah, would you like to be my mentor? But you need to tell them that the reason why you are reaching out to them. You are reaching out to them not because you are looking for a job. You are reaching out to them because you admired what they did. You respected them. You remember them. You like the way they manage and lead people. You like something about them. Same with a coach. Like if you see someone you like, their style, what they publish, what they have done, what is their background is. Some people like coaches who are psychologists by profession. Some like to work with coaches who, like me, have been there and have done it, and on top of that have this coaching certification. There needs to be a chemistry. There needs to be a good connection between you and your mentor and you and your coach. And there has to be, especially with a coach, if you pay them, that doesn't matter that much. But for a mentor, there has to be something for them as well in it. And for most of people who work as mentors, it's enough that they are recognized as a person. It's very satisfying. But do not come to them and say, you know, I've been unemployed for such a long time. Would you be my mentor and help me find a job? Because that will be a burden for them. They will say, who cares? I have so much to do. If you approach them and say, I used to work with you, I remember your achievements or your delivery, your style and so on, and I really admire it. Now I'm at the crossroads myself, because you don't need to fool them. I am at the crossroads myself, and I would really love you to be my mentor. Like maybe we could chat once a month or something. So that would be, I would use this approach, and I would definitely think about an accountability partner around your former colleagues or your friends, and also looking for a coach, because this could be, a coach could help you find a job faster and use strategies that go well beyond passive applications, sending applications, because this never works. You have to have another strategy which is more active, which is more focused, and applying for jobs from job boards, including LinkedIn, is one of the strategies, but it's the least effective one. It's about 80 or 90% of, maybe not 90, maybe I'm lying now, 80% of jobs. Let's say a big portion of jobs that you can see on job boards are
A hidden market, yeah.
Yeah, they are already taken, or they are
Mm-hmm.
because they are there because the companies have a policy to publish externally. So and then the flip side of it is that you think there is something about you, that you are not good enough, but no one is really reading even your CV because they have already someone lined up for it. Or if they don't, before you even apply, there is already one. Every time I look at some job, which I'm really curious, like how they post and so on, there is already 100 people applying. Like I thought it was just posted, but there's already 100 applicants. Yeah. So it's
true.
so there are other strategies, and you have to apply other strategies, and the coach would definitely advise you how to go about it, because otherwise it could be daunting, it could be another year wasted, and it could be really harming to your self-confidence and your own belief that you can make it, but you can.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Sure.
Very useful.
Ladies, we are at the top of the hour. I just want to tell you that I really appreciate your time and your being here with me. You can book a free consultation call with me if you want to chat more, please do. You can certainly connect with me on LinkedIn. I will be having a book club on LinkedIn. I'm also launching a Fast Friday career boost. There will be 5-minute career advice every Friday. And this series will be now every Thursday at 1 o'clock. I'm excited to let you know that next week I'm inviting a very, very interesting guest. And this will be in the form of a, interview. And we will still be talking about goals for 2025. We will be building on everything that we have discussed today, but it will not be just me, but also an accomplished friend of mine who will be sharing her perspective. Thank you, ladies. Have a great day, and hopefully see you next week.
Thank you. Bye.
Great.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.